I did medicine because I thought that was the best profession in the world. That's why I chose to be a doctor. When I found a better profession, after I met Sheikh Didat, I changed my profession. I changed from a doctor of a body to a doctor of a soul. But my son, if he says, I want to become a Dai, like my father, therefore I'll do MBBS, then I'll say, son, you're wasting your time. Neither do I want to send my son to become a doctor, neither does he want to become a doctor. I did that. It was the best for me. Allah made it possible, alhamdulillah. But why do medicine? No, because when you give lecture on Islam and science, people are impressed. I tell them that what I speak, you don't have to waste 5.5 years. I'll teach you in 5 months. And what I speak, what I tell in my lectures is not what I learned when I was in the medical college. That is superficial. Now I do my research, but because I have a doctor's label, they think I've learned it in medical college. Yes, maybe a little bit. When I speak to a person who's MD or a DM, my MBBS knowledge cannot be a match for a DM. What I do my research. Even you can do being a non-medical person. So the best advice is join an institute which will help excel in that field of knowledge, whatever you want to do, or join an organization. Practically start, don't waste your time. Is it clear? Point number 14. Dawah means to invite or call people to Islam. Though one of its main parts is calling people verbally to Islam at an individual level, at a group level, or at a public level. This is not the only act of dawah. Though it's one of the most important acts, calling people verbally, it's not the only act. Dawah also includes calling people by deeds and by actions, including display of noble character, kindness, etc. Though we will not be specializing on dawah by actions and deeds, inshallah, there'll be a session dealing with it titled The Characteristics of a Dai. In the objectives, I'm telling you in detail so that you're mentally prepared for the next 32 days. If you have thought of something, I'm clarifying. This is a technique-based program, not a knowledge-based program. Dawah is a variety of types. Main is calling, we'll be concentrating on the verbal. There's dawah by deeds, dawah by actions, dawah by character. We may just scratch the surface. That requires another speciality, another few days. But the main dawah by calling. All the prophets called. Action was there, deed was there, very important, should be there. But all of them called verbally also, besides actions. So we'll be having a small session talking about the basics of the characteristics of a Dai, inshallah. Point number 15. Islam believes in excellence and quality. Even if it is a small task, it should be done in an excellent manner. Excellent quality is more important than quantity. Quality is more important than quantity. But if you can have both quality and quantity, in Hindi we say sone pe suhaga, that means it is alhamdulillah, super excellent. Quality is more important than quantity, but you can have quality in quantity, alhamdulillah, summa alhamdulillah. Point number 16. The International Dawah Training Program will inshallah be unique and will lay more emphasis on practical dawah. It will incorporate techniques and strategies along with basic knowledge of Islam and other religions for the effectiveness of dawah. Point number 17. This 45 days course will include 33 days training in a comprehensive course combining the first, second, and third phase of dawah training, each consisting of 11 to 15 days if done separately. This is just for your understanding that the first dawah training program I did in my life, that is in the mid-90s or 97, 98, was a one-day training program. I'm trying to cover something of the introduction also in the objectives. And then we had the first phase. We made a proper format. It was for 15 days. In the first phase, I dealt with techniques of Islamic talks, structure and content of Islamic talks, replying to most common questions asked by non-Muslims, dawah to Christians, Hindus, Buddhists, and followers of other faiths and atheists. This was mainly the first phase. talking about techniques of public speaking, the structure and content, basic knowledge of Islam, basic knowledge of Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, other religion, atheism. The first phase. The second phase dealt with techniques of handling question and answer session. See, normally, most of the dais or most of the religious speakers, when they speak, they don't have a question and answer session. It was Sheikh Didat, alhamdulillah, who started this trend, and now it is continuing. You give a talk, and you sit. Now, talk is a monologue. You really come to know the depth of the speaker in the question and answer session. Talk, anyone can memorize and vomit. The real test is the question and answer session. Therefore, in the first phase, we don't deal much with that. We just show the structure of the question and answer session. But the techniques of handling question and answer session and debating skills is dealt in the second phase. Techniques of handling question and answer session, common questions asked by non-Muslims, and debating skills. So the first phase is dealing with techniques of public speaking, common questions, basic knowledge of Islam and other religions. Second phase, techniques of handling question and answer session, more knowledge of other religions, and debating skills. The last international Dawah training program I had, about 16 and a half years back, was a 25-day training program. The second phase constitutes about 13, 14 days. When we combine both, the revision is not there. So it was a 25 days training program. 25 working days, spread over about close to 32 days. This time, we're including the third phase. There are many things in my mind, and the total to reach, if time permits, minimum 10 phases. Minimum 10 phases. So you multiply that by 11, 12, you can understand the number of days it requires. The third phase includes specializing of Dawah through satellite media, through social media, and setting up Dawah organization. So these features would be added. I haven't added in the end, I've interspersed it. So the first would be on the 7th day, then you have the list of things that will be done. In the morning when you read the theme of the day for all the 33 days, it included Dawah through satellite media, Dawah through social media, setting up a Dawah organization. So inshallah, we'll be covering these points. The third phase has been spread over the complete training program. So this phase has been newly added. Time may not permit me to give you notes for this new portion I've added. It will be more of an extempo speech, more of my experience. So during these days, even the second phase doesn't have much of notes. It's a practical training. The first phase has notes. Though it's not a knowledge-based program, the notes are few hundred pages. I don't know, 500 to 1,000 pages it is. It's not knowledge-based, but yet it is several hundred pages. The second phase has very few notes. It's mainly technique-based and practical. The third phase, there will be speeches which you'll find in my lectures. But for you, it will be mainly an interaction. And if you want questions regarding the specialization, we'll deal with that. And this third phase, as I said, doesn't come in the ending. It's interspersed between the first and the second phase. Point number 21. This is a practical-oriented public speaking international Dawah training program to give to the participants the experience of professional public speaking. Each day of the training, as I mentioned to you, would be approximately for 8 to 9 hours. Though it's 8 hours mentioned in the day, but counting the extension done on some of the days, on average, it's 8 to 9 hours. Approximate 50% of the time of these 33 days, I'll be speaking from the stage. And that's more in the first phase. More than 50% I'll be speaking. Less than 5% would be taken by the other faculty. Whether Kalim is there, whether Athar is there, whether Naushad Nurani is there. All these other faculty put together would constitute less than 5%. And the balance 45%, you will be speaking. Most of the time from the stage, sometimes even from the floor. And while you are speaking from the stage or from the floor, less than 10%, it would be supervised by the other faculty. More than 35%, I'll be supervising it. That means more than 80% what you will be speaking. 35% or 45% is approximately 80% or 45%. So approximately 45% you will be speaking in all these days. From it, more than 80%, I will be supervising it. And less than 20% would be supervised by the other faculty. This is just a bird's eye view for you. Are there any questions as far as the last few points are concerned? We have reached point number 21. Any clarification? Yes, brother.
Assalamu alaikum. On the issue of we participating on public speaking, are we going to be given a topic, or is just we are going to be appointed for impromptu question or something?
Whether ask the question that will we be given topic to speak or it will be impromptu, it will be both. And when the time comes, we will be told about it, inshallah.